What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best cams in FC24. So let's have a look and see who's going to be on the top. Like we always do now, the S Plus is reserved for, especially being a cam, just one player. So the best cam you can physically get in FC24. Everybody else, it goes in order. We've got the S, which is going to be for the high premium cards. A plus for ones that just miss out. A's decent value but not quite up to the top, and then B predominantly is going to be more of your fodder picks now. I feel like if we kind of go straight into it, we could put a lot of the UCL Heroes in here. You've got Ricken, you've got Rosicki, you've got Litmanen, and Rui Costa would probably go one above. Schneider, I would say I actually quite like the card, and same with Abide Pele. I don't know if there's anybody else. I think that might be all of the UCL Heroes that we've got going on. So in terms of them, Rosicki, Ricken, Litmanen, there's no surprise here. Every year it's exactly the same. There's always some that are just not quite up to scratch. Maybe when they get to the end they could have some sort of spell, but by then normally it is a little bit too late. Whereas we look at Rui Costa, I quite like him in the position. He reminds me very much of like a Hadji. He may not be absolutely insane, but he has got some ability that can work. You'd argue that Litmanen could potentially be there as well, but I think for me, Costa's always been the fan favourite. Same as Hadji. May not be #1 shout in the world, but you could at least have something with him. If we then keep going, Brahim Diaz, I think has just hit the absolute minimum now. Just not quite there. To be honest, same as Mads. Madison is needing an upgrade now. It's 87 from the triple threat. Was he an SBC? Pretty sure he obviously had his player of the month. He was an objective, I believe he was. So again, another nice card that we got way back when, but he needs an upgrade now at some point. We have Philly Foden. You know what? I feel like Foden definitely is deserving of an upgrade, maybe an out of performance based one or something. He's got the finesse shot plus. I think this card, even though you could maybe argue something about him, I feel like he's very much like Madison. He's just unfortunately that little bit lower in that expectation now. He's got a bit more pace, which definitely goes in his favour, but he's definitely in the need of a bigger upgrade. And I think you can potentially go with the evolutions to make him an 89 with a finisher when that was out from his inform. And you can make him a wing wizard, which would make him an 89 left wing from his gold card. So there is potentials to upgrade him, just not in the original cam position. We then look at someone like a Dele Alli. Surprisingly, not actually a bad card. He's managed to actually go up a little bit in the game, and he's now an 88 FC Pro Live. Still very cheap at 80,000 coins, but I think again, maybe just a bit above everybody else, and I think it's the spread of the stats more than anything. We've got the same pace as Foden, dribbling wise very similar, even passing a little bit lower than say Madison, but he's got that shooting aspect to him as well as a bit more physicality, which I think works in his favour massively. Then we look at somebody else like a Bruno. I think if we're going for the top end cam, so let's have a look who we've got in the argument. So you've got Bobby Charlton, you've got him, you've got KDB. He is a cam as well, but I feel like KDB is just a staple of there. You've got Neymar, Zidane, Zico, Pele. Is that everybody? I feel like that's the #1 shout 100%. So if we're looking at them, who would be the best cam in the game? Now, the arguments for De Bruyne, I must admit, I thought he was a cam on the original. So he is technically a centre mid on his base card. Even though I feel like for him, at the very minimum, I know I threw in a Jude somewhere. I threw in his 89 because his team of the year is centre mid. I feel like if I've got Zidane there, I know he is technically default cam. De Bruyne is about the same in my eyes. He is more of a cam than he is defensively, same as Zidane. So who am I picking? Because with De Bruyne, he's a 4-star, 5-star. We've got Nene on his Thunderstruck. I know his other versions are left wing and striker. You've got him as a 5-5, Zidane as a 5-5, Zico as a 5-5, and Pele 95 as a 5-4. Bobby Charlton throws himself into the mix, same as Bruno, but I feel like them two are quite easily just going into the S category. Now, in terms of my favourite cam, it's a toss-up between, I'd say, there's 3 players. I think for me, Neymar sits in the S. I feel like he's got better positions than in the cam. Same with Zico. Zico's great addition, but I feel like for him to be number 1, he needs an upgraded card, definitely. Now, in terms of these 3, Pele could definitely play up front and be absolutely monstrous there. He still can play that cam role really well. He's got the technical plus, so it's not the most ideal one. Zidane, on the other hand, 95 rated, again got the 5-5, which is perfect. 3 million coins with incisive pass. That is going to be fantastic. And then you have De Bruyne, technically is a cam, with the finesse shot and pinged pass. Now, if I'm going for my number 1 there, I think, for me personally, I would be looking at Zidane.
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
I think the elements that you could play there, the incisive pass, for me as a cam, beats pinged pass and finesse shot plus. If you're looking at a cam that needs to shoot, I would probably be itching towards more of a De Bruyne with that finesse plus. So it is very tricky to pick between the two, because I think Zidane is absolutely incredible. The 5-5 for me is gonna edge it, and I can imagine there's a lot of people thinking De Bruyne is way better. I think if I'm looking at specific cam role, because when we go into the centre mid, I can use a debate of who's the better box to box, who can defend better. There's always arguments give and take, but I think as a cam, I feel like I'd prefer Zidane more. It's just an opinion. Now, in terms of Bellingham, I'd go A+ for this 89 version. Love his team of the year. Definitely an incredible box-to-box that will be in that list once we do the centre mids and CDMs together. We look at somebody like a JJ. I feel like he's now dropping into that role. He needs an upgrade massively. He's 88 rated. He's got no other versions from his triple threat or the UCL promo, so we are dying for that upgrade at some point. Del P's still in here. Whether I'd put him actually as a S, I feel like he's a good card, and I do like the cam variant. He's kind of gone from that centre forward role into the cam. Even though he can still play the striker, I do prefer him as a more midfielder now, mainly because of that, long ball pass. The defence is just not good enough to be on a centre mid, so he has to be in a cam, lam or ram at the very minimum. You could argue striker still, but I think for me, to get the best out of him, he needs that long ball pass to be actually working. So even if you went for like a 4-2-3-1, had him on, say, the left or right hand side, so he could make them balls through, but also be that sort of attacking centre forward at the same time, that could work. We then have someone like Fekir. I feel like he's dropping off massively. Sanchez, I'd kind of go into the A. Nice new card. Feel like he has something a bit about him. Same with Talisca. Again, another card that I think in terms of skills is absolutely brilliant in that sort of task role. When it comes to a higher version of him, that's where I think Talisca really kind of nails it on the head. He has got a few evolutions you could do. He's a 4-4 as well, which is always perfect. Van Basten can get in the bin. Alan Shearer, I'd definitely put as a cam in the lower tier, but the thing with this card personally is he hasn't really lost out that much shooting. Whack a Hunter on him and put him back up front. He absolutely slaps it there. Stoichkov. Now, Stoichkov is one that I haven't seen in a long time. We got the 90 cam for him, 400,000. Can play right mid, left mid, cam or centre mid. He is a 4-star, 3-star, so it does add a little bit less of a value compared to the top category. So I feel like A+ is probably where I'm going to go with him. Musiala, on the other hand, unfortunately only got one upgrade. It's a shame that he didn't get the double playstyle plus. He is technically cheaper than the 90 rated card that he's got, so it is a shame for him because I do think he definitely could have done with a double playstyle. If he's only going to get a 1 upgrade, you might as well have gone with the double for him because I feel like that could have added so much more. Technical plus is nice, but on a cam, I'm just not feeling it. In terms of kind of where he's going, he needs another big upgrade to break into this category. Otherwise, he's staying around there. Same with Odegaard, an SBC from way back when. To be honest, I could probably be even dropping him down, but I think dribbling and passing wise definitely keeps him at least up in the category. Kaka is going to go in the S. Love the card. He is absolutely brilliant. His Thunderstruck managed to get the single upgrade, in fact. So he's a double upgrade from his previous base, which is absolutely brilliant. He's got the Rapid Plus as well, which is always a benefit. Socrates is going to go in the A+. We have then got Nani. See, Nani needs a big upgrade. I like his footies card when he just goes above and beyond. This is kind of just nostalgic, if anything. I cannot believe he's a silver now. Incredible. Crazy. 4-star, 5-star. I don't feel like I can go any more than an A. He's nostalgic merchant on there as well. So whether we get footies and we see like a 95 of him, that could be the better kind of shout for him. We then have, is it Dabina? Dabina, 5-star, 5-star cam. She is an SBC at the moment. I want to say 200, 300k. 220, not a bad shout. 5-star, 5-star again. I think she adds a bit. She is, 5'1", so she's got very, very good agility balance. Anybody that knows, if you are smaller, you tend to get agility balance, where especially if you are in that dribbling nature, I feel like that card could give you something, but it probably will drop down very quickly. We also did have an 89 winter wild card of her, so it can kind of tell me where this card's really heading. Son, on the other hand, he kind of has fallen off in terms of being noticed as much really now. He got himself the Fire and Ice, which is nice. The Ice version is the cam. Where I'd go with him, 4-star, 5-star, Technical Plus. They love a cam with Technical Plus. I do prefer him in different positions, and I still think he is definitely in that top quality, so I will allow him into the S. Then we have Rapinoe, we have Royce, we have Wirtz. I feel like this SBC definitely was hated because who she is, but in terms of an actual card, wasn't awful. Now I'm probably feeling a little bit less for it. Royce is probably about the same as well, to be honest. Wirtz, I don't know with Wirtz. We've used all his cards because he's got 2 player of the months. He's got this Ultimate Dynasties, 4/4, Incisive Pass. There's a chance you could argue up here, but I feel like he is just a little bit under Musiala in my opinion, so we will stick with that list. So let me know down below who's your cam if you play them, and let me know what you think. Peace.